Shout out, was this Texas cousin Stizz?
No, bro, Boston.
No. Really?
He's from Dorchester. He he grew up where my first apartment was in Boston. Yes,
Are
told
you
you this.
are you two homies?
Yeah, we've met. No, we haven't met. But he's friends with Michael Christmas, the other big Boston rapper, and I have seen
Ah,
him before around here. So yeah, no, he lives in LA now, as the past few years. But yeah, definitely the biggest, most successful Boston rapper ever. I would say Cousin Sis, and then Joyner Lucas is from Worcester. Those are like the New England rappers. It's a short list.
yeah, not a great list for Boston. Although Stizz pretty respectable. You
Yes.
know, not somebody who I think has elevated to major status, but definitely has a lot of technical skill, and that's uh, showcased in this new album. Trying to find my next thrill. What was your relationship with Stiz prior to this album?
Yeah, he's an artist that I just came across the rabid fan base, loyal fan base that he has. I just kind of came across and it's like, oh, Cousins Tiz, I should check that guy out. It seems like people really like him. I don't think I actually checked him out till maybe last year, 2 years ago. Um, Suffolk County debut album. So literally, there's your roots there. Manda, and then sorry, those are the mixtapes, and then debut album came out in 2017, and then hear that, and that seems it was kind of like a growth album for him. Headlock with Offset, I think, is kind of the highlight of that. It's his biggest hit to date, and he was able to be a little bit more commercial on that first album with RCA Records without abandoning why he got so popular and had these fans, namely because he's like I don't know, like a really energetic guy that people like to believe in. Like he just kind of communicates his emotions about grinding really well. I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but I was never like a huge fan. I like Headlock, like some of his other songs, but I was looking forward to this album just because I think he's, as you said, a technical quality rapper that uh, probably deserves to be a little bigger than he is, which is funny because he actually blew up when Drake, we've said this a million times to people, but Drake played his first real big hit at his birthday party like 6 years ago. And that's how people
Wow.
found out about Stizz for the most part.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like if you go back through all the podcasts, like every other one we're talking about, someone Drake has blown up in some way, by mentioning him, having him on a track. Uh,
Octavian, watch that review.
Very influential guy, that Drake. Stiz. Yeah, so I like you. I think actually I'd only either like read a review about him, was intrigued by him as an artist, but not super tuned into him, obviously. Um, this album I found to be super. I don't want to. I don't think one knows what I'm going for. I found it to be very like at all on one level. I didn't feel like the energy went too high or too low at any point. That he kept it right around the same point, but it sounded so almost like simplistic. Like he wasn't trying to do too much with the production, but just kind of let his own rapping ability drive the album, and I found
Minimalist.
really, really impressive. Um, what stood out to you about trying to find my next thrill?
Yeah, that's the question. Does something stand out that's different than what he's already done? Probably not. But as you said, he really likes minimalist,
Mhm.
simple beats. He always has. And they allow him because I think his charisma on the mic, just his delivery of lyrics has always been pretty strong. And that allows him to he always like shows his work on his music, I suppose you could say. And on songs like STP, songs like So So, even if his delivery for the most part, as you said, is pretty down the middle, uh, it's pretty like it's also it's a high floor the whole time. So if you're a Stiz fan, this is probably exactly what you wanted. But I don't know if there's a moment on this album that's like a highlight. Like you listen to this song, you'll get it, like
Mm-hmm.
crystallization of what Stiz means to people. But it's more Stiz, both good and bad. So yeah, I think he doesn't totally jump out, but I don't want to, that sounds too negative. Like it's still quality all around. He hasn't taken like that next huge step forward. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, what would you want to see from him to feel like he did take that step forward?
Yeah, well, he's a technical guy, and he seems like a really genuine guy too.
Mm-hmm.
That comes across in his music. So we could find a way to make that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's obvious as let's make a commercial song that can go on the playlist so people find out about you. But that's not the kind of music he makes. So, you know, I, I'm not sure what the path is to grow. To be honest, because he's already a very successful guy. Like I said, RCA Records. He's moved to LA, is where he worked. The the debut album with RCA was the first time he had really worked with outside people, and now he's doing that again. So he seems like he's fully much in the industry, but he hasn't really changed the type of music he makes. So I think that's probably bodes well for his future success, just because he's probably happy making this kind of music. So he probably doesn't need my advice, but yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, what would you think? What would need to push him forward more?
Well, the song that I like the most off this was Beeman. And
I think that's the highlight for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think that right there is probably a bit of the hook. Is I know he's very minimalist, but I think maybe finding a way to infuse this, and maybe it's the the Chicago sound, like that jazz infused hip hop. Maybe it's something just a little bit more, but I think when it goes from because as I was listening to it, I was like, who does this remind me of? And I was thinking a little bit of 21 Savage, especially like the new album, because I felt like 21 Savage's new album was fairly minimalist in terms of like the beats weren't anything too crazy, but Savage just kind of was absolute fire on it. And I feel like maybe if he can find a way to bring that minimalistic style, but have little flourishes, and then kind of coupling that earnestness that I think he really harnesses well in his lyrics, could help him propel that next level. I mean, he also had like Smino on a song on this. Maybe finding some more people to collaborate with could help him out. I thought Freddie Gibbs was also decent on Toast to That.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's a couple of avenues. I think I don't know how old he is, but he still seems to be
late 20s.
Trying some things. Maybe taking a couple more chances. Being with a major label will give him access to take some of these chances. Who knows? Well, like you said, I don't think he needs our advice, but just some thoughts.